Live from KSAT 12, the Nightbeat starts right now.
Shockwaves rippling across a local college community after a student athlete is accused of trying to kidnap a child. And the story gets worse. Plus, arrested. Sheriff's deputies arrest the man they think shot and killed a high school student this weekend, and they say they got the crime on tape. Plus, you are about to feel so proud that young woman who you just saw is doing something to change the lives of her classmates, present and future, and she's doing it by going for a job that usually goes to adults. But first, a 19-year-old girl with what looked like a bright future is now behind bars. University of the Incarnate Word track athlete Myraja Rankin is accused of stabbing a woman to kidnap her 3-year-old son. The night team's John Paul Barajas spoke with the man whose apartment police say was used as Rankin's hiding place.
I wonder what the circumstances are, what her mental state is, what caused her to do that.
I mean, that's pretty crazy. Wouldn't really expect that.
It's hard for college students to wrap their heads around. 19-year-old Myraja Rankin, a freshman track athlete at the University of Incarnate Word, facing charges of aggravated kidnapping and aggravated assault with a deadly weapon.
It's going to be a pretty different turn of events for her life, obviously.
According to the police report, the mom told Rankin to get away from her boy. That's when Rankin grabbed the 3-year-old, trying to make a run for it. The mom caught up to him, but that's when Rankin is said to have stabbed the mom twice in the forearm, but losing grip of the young boy in the process. An apartment employee was able to grab him and put him into safety. Rankin made a run for it, going into hiding in this first-floor apartment.
The cops came in, and they were like with the hand on like this and saying, "You need to leave, we want to help you. Come out with your hands up."
Omar Ortega says Rankin ran into his apartment through a sliding door. His wife and mother-in-law were inside at the time.
She was telling her, "You know what? You need to leave. This is not your apartment. You need to leave." And she kept saying, "Shh, be quiet, be quiet." With the wood going like this, like crosses. Be quiet, be quiet.
He's thankful no one in his family was hurt, but explains the panic of having to watch a security camera's live stream from his phone.
Not being there, it's very stressful. It's like you wish like every car disappears at the moment and you're the only one driving so I can get fast over here.
Ortega tells us he didn't even know what Rankin was running from until we told him this afternoon. As for a possible motive and what Rankin is accused of doing, SAPD declined to comment due to the active investigation. At Public Safety Headquarters, John Paul Barajas, KSAT 12 News.
And new on the Nightbeat tonight, Bexar County Sheriff's deputies arrested someone in the shooting that took the life of a Brennan High School student on Sunday. This evening, during a press conference, Sheriff Javier Salazar says the suspect is 19-year-old Jose Medina. Medina is accused of shooting 15-year-old Ted Johnson Jr. And according to the sheriff, the victim walked up to an SUV, spoke to Medina, and after they exchanged words, Medina allegedly shot Johnson, who then collapsed and died a short time later. The sheriff says that deputies found video of that incident, and they got a description of the vehicle that the suspect was in.
Officers were able to canvass the area in between our patrol deputies and our CID investigators. They were able to canvass the area, and they were able to find some video footage from nearby that showed a light-colored SUV right there around the time of the shooting.
So the sheriff said that investigators found a handgun, cell phone, and vape cartridges next to Johnson when they were searching the area. Now Medina is charged with murder, tampering with evidence, and possession with intent to deliver. Also new tonight, the Bexar County Medical Examiner's Office has identified the man who was shot and killed last night in northeast Bexar County. He's 32-year-old Duniel Vallardes Fernandez. The shooting was breaking news last night. We brought it to you on the Nightbeat. Sheriff's deputies were called out to the 7,000 block of Winsford Drive. Bexar County deputies say that when they got to that scene, they found Vallardes Fernandez with a gunshot wound. He was rushed to the hospital where he died. Vallardes Fernandez, his death has been ruled a homicide, but at this point, nobody has been arrested. In San Antonio, the ballot is set, so anybody who wanted to run for city council in San Antonio had until today to officially file to have their name on the ballot for the May 6th election. And the most crowded races are for the mayor seat and districts 1 and 2. As you can see, there are at least 9 candidates running for mayor and the District 1 seat. In District 2, looks pretty crowded, has 10 candidates. Now, Districts 7 and 10 are wide open after the resignation of Ana Sandoval and the decision by Clayton Perry not to run for re-election. Those seats have attracted 5 and 7 candidates each. In addition to that, to the council seats, San Antonio voters are also going to decide on the so-called San Antonio Justice Charter, and that's going to appear on the ballot as Proposition A. All right, on a lighter note, we got a little bit of everything, a little tasty taste of everything this week, weather-wise. We're on a seesaw of hot and then cold. Meteorologist Mia Montgomery is here. You've been tracking this all week. For people trying to make weekend plans, just tell us, what kind of weather should we be preparing for, Mia?
Well, really, the temperature roller coaster is going to continue, but this time we're kind of on the upward warming trend. So today it was a cold start. We started off this morning in the 20s and low 30s. Some of us saw a light freeze. This afternoon, we did find some sunshine, but daytime highs were still cooler than average in the 50s. I think temperature-wise, we're pretty copy and paste for the most part. Heading into our Saturday, a light freeze still possible in spots, especially up in the hill country and in some rural areas. First thing tomorrow morning, less wind though compared to what we saw earlier today. You will still want to bundle up stepping out the door early tomorrow. Overall, I think we'll find some mid and upper level cloud cover move through the area. Temperatures still cool though in the upper 50s, but notice that warming trend that quickly takes back over as we head into our Sunday. Highs are headed for the low to mid 70s here in town. We'll also start to see the humidity build. We'll talk about what that will do to our temperatures heading into the beginning of next week in just a few, Stephania.
All right, Mia, thank you. New on the Nightbeat. I'm so excited for this story because you, my friend, are about to be impressed. So today was the last day that people could throw their hat in the ring for a seat on the new Braunfels ISD school board. And the 18-year-old you're about to meet, she raised her hand. And school or state school board leaders are backing her up. The Night Team's Patty Santos tells us the rest.
So I've wanted to be a teacher since I was young, really young.
Fallon Cochran comes from a family of educators, and that's why she's got the ambition to do more for the new Braunfels ISD student body.
We can't just be sitting around anymore, we need to take action because these decisions that are being made are the ones that are going to affect us.
She's running for at-large school board in the upcoming May elections.
I don't want to become a politician. This is just something that I feel like I'm ready for and something I've made for because I want to be an educator.
She joins a long list of teens stepping up to join school boards across Texas.
Say it's always been happening, but it may be happening more frequently now.
Kay Douglas with the Texas Association of School Boards welcomes the young energy.
They're old enough to join the military. They're old enough to go to college. So why should they not be old enough to have a voice in what happens in a school district?
Michael Valdez joined the Edgewood ISD board just months after he graduated. Last year, senior Carson Roberts beat out 4 other candidates as a write-in at Claude ISD near Amarillo.
And we used to say that they were the voice of the future. They're the present. They don't have to wait until they're 30 or 40 or 50 to serve on a board, because we need their voices now.
Cochran will face Kimberly Goodwin, an audit manager, and Bill Lewis, a retired educator, for the at-large seat. Patty Santos, KSAT 12 News.
Okay, isn't that awesome? So to be eligible for a school board candidate or to be a school board candidate, you have to be 18 years old the day that you take office if you won. You also have to be a U.S. citizen and have lived in the district that you're running in for at least 6 months. Switching gears now to the latest on the Tyree Nichols case. The 5 Memphis Police Department officers accused of killing 29-year-old Nichols after a traffic stop in January all pleaded not guilty to second-degree murder. The former officers were formally arraigned nearly a month after video showed the officers punching, kicking, and striking Nichols with a baton. He died in the hospital 3 days later. CNN's Gloria Basmino has the details.
The 5 Memphis officers charged in connection with the killing of Tyree Nichols faced a Shelby County criminal court judge Friday and declared their innocence.
At this time, we waive the formal reading of the indictment off to the court, a plea of not guilty.
Tadarius Bean, Demetrius Haley, Justin Smith, Emmett Martin III, and Desmond Mills Jr. were formally arraigned during this brief court proceeding less than a month after they were fired from the department. And 2 months since police and traffic cameras captured them brutally beating Nichols, a 29-year-old black man, after he was pulled over for a traffic stop. All 5 men are facing charges of second-degree murder, aggravated assault, aggravated kidnapping, official misconduct, and official oppression. On the other side of the courtroom, the Nichols family coming face to face with the men accused of taking their son's life.
They didn't even have the courage to look at me in my face after what they did to my son.
As the wheels of justice begin to turn, the Shelby County District Attorney said the office is reviewing as many as 100 cases related to the now defunct Scorpion unit, the same anti-crime unit the 5 charged police officers were once a part of.
If there's reason to doubt that the case is a valid conviction, then we'll reconsider that.
I'm Gloria Pasmino reporting.
Now, we want you to stick around because straight ahead on the Nightbeat, the city of San Antonio continues to mourn the loss of a talented and well-known artist who used the city as his canvas. And you're going to get to see more of his artwork this weekend. Also, terror in Los Angeles after 2 men are shot within 24 hours while leaving prayer services. Now a suspect is in custody, and prosecutors say he's facing federal charges. Now for a look at some of today's big headlines in your Nightbeat news flash. Law enforcement in Los Angeles say that the person accused of shooting 2 men while they were leaving their synagogues this week is facing federal hate crime charges. Police say that Jamie Tran targeted those victims and shot them as they were leaving a synagogue. Those shootings happened Wednesday and Thursday. One of the victims was in his 40s, the other in his 70s. Police captured Tran near Palm Springs. Investigators say they found an AK-style rifle and a handgun in his vehicle. Prosecutors say he has a history of making anti-Semitic comments. A 52-year-old man had way more than he should have in his carry-on bag, and now he's facing a huge federal fine. Agents with the Transportation Security Administration at the Louis Armstrong New Orleans International Airport say the man had a loaded assault rifle in his bag. The man was trying to catch his flight to Houston when the agents made the discovery, and look at that. According to the TSA, the weapon was a Palmetto PA-15 multi-AR firearm. He also had 163 rounds of ammunition inside that carry-on bag. So now he's facing a $15,000 fine. You know what's back? Yes, the pandemic postponed it, but now it is officially Carnival in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. The streets of Rio de Janeiro are again alive with all of the splendor of Carnival. We're talking lights, music, dance, glitter, flowers, and of course, all of those colors. The party's going to be going through Tuesday. And by the way, if you haven't looked at the calendar, Carnival is held the Friday before Ash Wednesday, which happens to be next week. Mardi Gras is this coming Tuesday, and then Lent starts on Wednesday. And that's a look at your Nightbeat News Flash. All right, so happening tomorrow, you can see the artwork of a local muralist who left his mark all over San Antonio. We're talking about Jesse Trevino, who tragically passed away from cancer on Monday. His work is going to be on display tomorrow at the Central Public Library on Soledad. In honor of his memory, the library staff have been inviting visitors into the foyer of the building's auditorium since Wednesday. Tomorrow, though, is going to be the last day where there's going to be an open exhibition of his work in said foyer. Now, you should be going into the building through the doors that are located closest to the plaza on the southeast side of the Central Library, but you're open to go there from 10 a.m. through 6 p.m. Awesome stuff. I mean, his art's all over the city of San Antonio. I love it. Right now, 44 degrees. People want to get their Friday on. There is rodeo going on, a ton of events going on this weekend. And you're just saying, I guess we got to be prepared for everything, right?
Essentially a little bit of everything for everybody. The first half of the weekend still cooler than average, but then into the back half of the weekend, more warmer than average. Temperatures quickly return to the forecast in true Texas fashion. But before we get there, let's take a look at this awesome sunset photo that was sent in from the Woodlawn Lake area here earlier this evening from Taylor McClelland via KSAT Connect. We had a deck of mid to upper level clouds that moved in just as the sun was setting. Overall, a beautiful way to wrap up the work week. And speaking of which, we had a lot of ups and downs this week, right? 80s Tuesday and into Wednesday. Then we saw that front move in Wednesday night, and then cooler than average temperatures in the 50s were in the works yesterday and into today. 45 right now over at SA International. It is chilly out there and still pretty very low dew points. So that drier air in place and calming winds compared to what we saw last night, really helping those temperatures fall pretty efficiently as we head into the overnight hours. So a light freeze is possible in spots by wake up time Saturday in and around the San Antonio area, especially in rural areas and then up into the hill country. Some upper 20s and low 30s possible. Regardless, if you are stepping out first thing tomorrow, you definitely are going to want to bundle up. And still into the afternoon, maybe not a bad idea to at least keep the long sleeve with you. I do think we will find a few more clouds tomorrow compared to more of the blue skies that we saw out there earlier this afternoon. And overall, though, temperatures hovering in the mid to upper 50s as we head into the first half of the weekend. Around 59 is that daytime high here in San Antonio, 55 up in Bulverde, 60 down in Floresville in Wilson County, 59 in Bandera tomorrow afternoon, stretching over to Sabinal as well as Uvalde. Now, as we head into the overnight hours on Saturday and into Sunday morning, what we're going to find, those south winds are going to start to pump in some more Gulf moisture. So you can see what that's going to do to our dew points by the back half of the weekend and even into next week. We start to see those rise, and what that means for us here in South Central Texas, especially by any early Sunday morning plans, maybe some areas of patchy fog, not completely out of the question, especially into Monday and Tuesday mornings of next week. For the morning drives, that could potentially slow some of us down. So something to check back in on as we get more looks on that into the upcoming weekend. With that moisture moving back in, look at how that's also going to help our daytime highs quickly warm. While tomorrow is cooler than average, Sunday we are back above the average high of 68 degrees, near 75 for the back half of the weekend, 78 into Monday, and then into Tuesday and Wednesday, the 80s return. That's also when we're going to monitor for our next system that right now is off the west coast out in the Pacific. That's going to slowly work its way eastward here over the next several days. By Tuesday night and into early Wednesday, that's when we'll start to see some of the energy move across the Lone Star State. Unfortunately, most of the energy right now looks to stay just north of the area, but still we'll monitor for a few isolated showers by early Wednesday morning.
Okay, thank you. So we're going to put aside talk of the Spurs for a moment and talk about individual Spurs.
Yes.
Jeremy Sohan, Salt Lake City. Watching what he's going to be doing.
Yep, Rising Stars game tonight. He had 6 points in the first game, 1 point in the championship, but he really showed out in that first one with a couple of big-time slam dunks. Plus, head coach Greg Popovich is now a Hall of Fame finalist coming up.
I make a half court, you gotta dye your hair.
Bet.
Shake on it.
In the game, if you,
Shake on
you
it.
make a half court.
No, I'm talking about right now.
Oh, no, not right now. No.
In the game? In the game?
You got one try.
In the game.
And if you do it in the game, yeah.
That's funny. Jeremy Sohan made a bet with Rockets rookie Jabari Smith Jr., but Jeremy missed that half-court attempt in big board sports. Spurs rookie forward Jeremy Sohan took part in the Jordan Rising Stars game tonight in Salt Lake City to tip off NBA All-Star Weekend. 4 teams played, with the 2 winners advancing to the final. First to 40 moves on. Sohan and Team Joachim open with Team Jason, and check out Jeremy driving in for a monster slam dunk for 2 of his 6 points. Team Joachim won 40-32 and faced Team Pau in the final. First to 25 wins the title, and Pau's team takes care of business 25-20 on a game-winning 3. Sohan had just 1 point in the final, scoring from the free throw line. Tomorrow is All-Stars Saturday night. The Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame today announced 12 finalists for the class of 2023 election, including Spurs head coach Greg Popovich, former Spurs point guard Tony Parker, and WNBA great Becky Hammon. Pop has been the Spurs head coach for 27 seasons and became the winningest coach in NBA history in March 2022. He has won 5 NBA titles in the Alamo City. Parker is a 4-time NBA champion and was the most valuable player in the 2007 NBA Finals. His number 9 was retired by the Spurs in 2019. And Hammond is a 6-time WNBA All-Star and was named to the league's 15th, 20th, and 25th anniversary teams. She served as an assistant coach for the Spurs, the first full-time female coach in any of the 4 major professional sports. So here are the notables again. Parker, Pop, and Hammond. Then you have 3-time NBA champion Dwayne Wade, 2-time NBA champ Pau Gasol, 2011 NBA champion Dirk Nowitzki, and former women's basketball coach Gary Blair, who won a national championship with Texas A&M in 2011. The Honors Committee will now decide who will get their call to the Hall for the class of 2023. In girls high school basketball, the Steel Lady Knights are on cloud 9 after beating Austin High School in the second round of the playoffs last night, 52-51. Austin is ranked number 2 in the state, Steel number 24. They lost to Austin during the regular season, 55-46, but beat them last night when it mattered the most. They'll next face the winner of Johnson Vista Ridge. Steel split 2 games with Johnson and lost to Vista Ridge in the regular season.
We know we played them before. They're very feisty, all-around team, so we know we just have to break their press and all that stuff.
We had a rough start and we definitely lost to Johnson the first couple times we played them. But after a few practices, few games, we definitely developed a lot ever since then. And we beat Johnson and we only lost Vista Ridge by like a few points.
We played them earlier in the season and we lost, but I think back then we weren't as ready and we weren't as much as a team as we are now.
Steel will play Johnson in the regional quarterfinals after the Jags beat Vista Ridge tonight 68-41. The UIL's championship season kicked into high gear this morning with the state wrestling championships at the Berry Center in Cypress, and a number of area athletes punched their tickets to tomorrow's state semifinals. That includes Clemens senior Seth Gutierrez, who rallied from a 4-0 deficit to defeat Katie's Owen Vaught by an 8-5 decision in the 144-pound division.
It was hard, but I told myself I can't lose. Everything's on this match. I've been behind before, and I just know I know I can come back, and I get to place at state, which has been a goal of mine for a long time.
In Class 5A, Piper sophomore Savannah Schaff dominated her second-round match in the 120-pound bracket, earning a pin and the win late in the second period against Carrollton's Turner's Stephanie Gonzalez. Schaff will wrestle in tomorrow's semis.
Honestly, it's really great. We have amazing coaches, and wrestling's just really like a family, so that's my favorite part about it.
We have a full recap of all of today's second-round action right now on the BGC page at KSAT.com. A bullfighter went for a ride after the break. After a night off, bull riding was back in action tonight at the San Antonio Stock Show and Rodeo. Here's Tyler Bingham on board Skim Walker, and he's the first cowboy to go all 8 seconds to earn 75 points. And actually, he stayed on that bull for 14 seconds. Very nice. Here's the final ride. Clayton Savage on board William James George. Savage goes the distance, and after bucking the cowboy off, William James George sends one of the bullfighters, Cody Webster, up in the air, spin cycle, a 720. He's okay. That's a 75-point ride, meaning Bingham and Savage tied for first. Wow.
Pro football coverage powered by Davis Law Firm.
Working crew at the Alamo Dome putting on the final touches on the field today as they get ready to host the Brahmas and Battlehawks Sunday at 2 p.m. XFL kicks off this weekend. And if you haven't heard, league co-owner Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson says he will attend all 4 games, so he's coming to San Antonio.
That's right, and we're going to be covering the
We
game.
are, absolutely.
2 to 5. We're also going to be covering the tailgating and everything, because you got a lot of excited people about this, especially the Brahma Mamas.
Going to have a live stream on the field?
Yes.
Love the Brahma Mamas. They're awesome.
Yeah, I'm all about it. Thank you, Larry. And we'll be right back after this.
All right, we are in the cold 30s and 40s out there right now. Temperatures will continue to fall through the overnight hours. Again, a light freeze is possible in spots by wake-up time tomorrow. Nothing to worry about with your pipes or anything like that, though. And then as we head into the afternoon, temperatures will climb into only the mid to upper 50s. And then that warming trend really takes over as we head into our Sunday. More humidity is going to work back in as well. So some areas of fog certainly possible Sunday morning, and really we'll copy and paste that into Monday and Tuesday of next week. Even warmer by midweek, and then a few isolated showers possible Tuesday night and into early Wednesday, Stephanie.
Everyone's going to be happy at least one day this week.
There you go.
I've loved having your company during this last half hour. Thank you so much for watching. Have an awesome weekend. Good night.